Hello Andre, this is Jack Crane with my Sprint 7 submission. I'm just going to get right into what I have so far. So for this sprint, there are four main things I wanted to get accomplished. I only managed to accomplish three. I was able to fix the skybox, so now I'm centered and on the origin of the terrain, and I spawn in the middle. There's a few kinks though that I'm still trying to work out. For instance, if I think, okay, so I'm good that way, but on one of the, on two of the axes, if I step out of bounds of the skybox, I error out. It has something to do with the min and max values I set on my terrain, but I haven't been able to quite figure it out yet. I was able to center it, but I think it's just playing around with the values a little bit more. Once I got in the middle, I didn't really take the extra time just because I had spent so much time on it already, and I really wanted to get moving on the other stuff. But yeah, so my skybox is now centered on the middle of the terrain. I'll show you how I did that. So all I did was create this half point vector and fill the x and the z values with half point, which is just the image width divided by 2 times the length of the image or the terrain that's passed in. And then I create, I think that's it for here. Yeah, and then I create a half point vect, and I set that vect to negative half point and negative half point, and I apply that vector to the world matrix. And then in the compute cell data for when I'm computing the vertices, which is the problem I was having earlier, I'm subtracting the half point by the x and z values of both sides to hopefully, well, to put the origin in the center of the terrain. Unfortunately, I think you can see it actually. There is a little bit of an issue. My compute cell, or the highlight cell that highlights the ABB is like a little bit off. I don't know if you can see it. It's kind of hard from this angle, but let's see if we can get up on it. Yeah, you can see that it's at least a row off on either side. It's like one row off the bottom and one row off the left in this picture, but I think I'm going over an index by 1 or something. I'll have to fix that later. The second thing that I wanted to get done was a score system. User code. So I was just able to create a simple command system that can be set up to expand. Right now I just have the one tank, but this can be expanded for different types of tanks, turrets, as well as more money for distance shots, etc. Just similar to how we did in Centipede, and just to prove that it works, let's shoot. And as you can see, my current money got raised to 200. That's based off the current amount. Right now, this is held inside the score manager. This will be updated to have some sort of player profile where the player has amount of current money and other stats of the like, is probably current power-ups or available power-ups will be on there too. Yeah, I wanted to switch more to a player profile or a player struct and manage that as opposed to just storing it in the score manager, even though there only will be one player. But yeah, maybe I won't do the player profile. We'll see. Uh, anyway, we'll keep going, I guess. Show that it works for more than one. Yeah, so as you can see, my current money has been up to 400. And this is just a simple command system where just override the execute, and it calls this give money function to the score manager, and all that does is add the value to the current amount. This was just for the debug purposes, so I can get rid of that now. And finally, you kind of saw it a little bit earlier, but I was able to get the sprite font system working. That includes the sprite font manager and sprite font attorney as well. Here it is, as well as the screen data, updating the glyphs during render time. Yeah, so this is very similar to how you set up the other asset managers, just a few minor differences. In this one, I'm checking that not only was the resource key used multiple times, but also checking to make sure that it loaded. This is an if check I want to do in the other asset managers as well that I actually didn't get around to doing. I need to go back and make this change. I need more checks on the loads to make sure that the paths are correct, because this was a nightmare debugging earlier. I spent a lot of time on this that was unnecessary. Yeah, so I'll just go into it because I've already spent a lot of time. So just uncomment that and uncomment this. So the fourth thing that I wanted to get done besides the sprite system was the cell iterator, and I spent around 2 days this week total purely on that. As you can see, my glyph system's working. This is just a proof of concept. Obviously, it's not. It doesn't look great right now. I just wanted to show you that I could get it working. I still need to work out the kinks in the spacing and the background being transparent. But I can update, as you can see, the values. So this will be perfect for my time mechanic, because in the attacking mode, the faster you're able to destroy the base, the better you are. So, or the higher your score. So, having a font system was very important, and I wanted to get this done as soon as possible because this allows me to move on to my HUD and allows me to move on to more general game systems that I can now show on the screen. The current enemies. I want to get to a mini map. I think I'll still be able to do it, especially after the lesson you gave us. And I still haven't been able to do berry centric, but that was way on the back burner this week. I probably could have gotten some more done. But the cell iterator I got stuck on again, and I know I should ask for help, but I was asking for help, and unfortunately I got a great deal of help right up around the end of today, but I wasn't able to finish in time. I am really close though, so I think one more day and I'll be able to get it. So thank you. I'll see you soon.